Good morning to everyone, to the university and college officials, my fellow formators of our students, my fellow supervising teachers, the regular teachers of the EHS who are here, the members of the academic staff of the College of Education, all those who have made this week-long event possible, and of course, our dear pre-service teachers who are the main beneficiaries, the main audience, the target audience of this week-long program that we have mounted for you. Okay, good morning. I am Philip Hernandez, the supervising teacher for English, and I am also an alumnus of the UST Education High School. And for this brief sharing that I will be having this morning, I hope to walk you through the history of the EHS, okay, a glimpse of it, okay, and I hope to give you an idea about the kind of environment that you will be joining, the kind of past that it has had, and the kind of story that it is proud to share. I entitled my talk today as the UST Education High School, 72 Years of Flexibility and Excellence. I stayed in the EHS from 2003 to 2007, 4 years. We were the very first section called Piety, which I believe is now grade 10. Okay, grade 10 Piety and grade 10 Responsibility. Okay, we were the first batch to be called Piety. We were the second batch to be named after the core values. Okay, ang unang-una ay simplicity and honesty. Yan ang unang-unang mga pangalan ng core values. We had, I think, in those 4 years, the chance to develop flexibility without being told that we had to develop flexibility. Why so? Because during those 4 years, when we stayed in the Education High School, there was this demand for us to actually adjust to teachers, to student teachers at that, who had different ways of doing things, who had different attitudes, who had different dispositions, who had different degrees of passion, of whether they loved or they did not yet feel the love for the thing that they did. During our time, almost all of the subject areas that we had to take, we had student teachers for them. English, Filipino, mathematics, science, for all the 4 years, from integrated science all the way to physics. TLE, we had student teachers in the first 2 years of TLE, which were home economics. We had even student teachers for computer, for MAPE, for Araling Panlipunan, and for SOCSI. Okay, we had student teachers for practically all the subjects, with the exception of scouting, the last 2 years of TLE, which were reserved for practical arts, and of course, Citizenship Advancement Training, or CAT. We even had library periods, because I think during our 3rd year, there were student teachers of library science under the BSE program, before, of course, the new curriculum took effect in 2007 or 2008. We had to be flexible, whether we were told about it or not. In the 4 years that we spent in the EHS, our main goal was to finish high school. Our main goal was to, eventually earn that diploma, enter college, and live a good life. That was the target. Okay, we were the era of students who had an early exposure to technology, but not yet the sophisticated kind of technology that you have. Little did we realize that the flexibility that we had, or that we eventually developed, the flexibility that was thrust upon us because of the circumstances and the environment that we were in, would later on prove to be a key ingredient in our being able to thrive, to survive, and who knows, maybe even become excellent in the current world that we are in. Yesterday, Dr. Dasas was talking about DVUCAD. We're no longer just in a VUCA world. We are in a VUCA world that is diverse, and we are in a VUCA world that is prone, or that is at the very least, at the mercy also of possible disruption. Mga kaibigan, ang flexibility, ang kakayahan mo na mag-adjust, okay, sa iba't ibang klase ng suliranin, sa iba't ibang klase ng sitwasyon, sa iba't ibang kalagayan, ay isang mahalagang aspeto ng kakayahan mo na magtagumpay sa buhay na ito. Not just in the professional life, not just in the academic life, but also in your personal lives as well. They say the main building is earthquake-proof. Some would say earthquake-resistant. The better term, according to architects, is earthquake-resistant. Bakit? Take a look at the structure, and you will not see anything that makes it earthquake-resistant. But it's actually how it was built, how things are underneath. Okay? The building has an internal mechanism that allows it to somewhat sway or dance, okay, during earthquakes. Okay, I'm using the term dance loosely, and I hope I'll be forgiven by the people from the College of Architecture. But if in my sincere attempt to laymanize it, it just sways a little, okay, during times of earthquakes, so that instead of resisting, okay, it actually gets to adjust. When you resist, okay, or when something resists, okay, a situation to the point that there is no sense of flexibility, there is no openness, no, to partly embracing what may actually be good about the situation, you may not actually be demonstrating flexibility, okay? And that, okay, using the main building as a sense may actually put a lot of pressure on the structure that's resisting, and who knows, may even make it crumble. The pandemic has shown us that people who have no sense of flexibility or have no openness to flexibility will most likely be the ones left behind, will most likely crumble. Ang inyong pinagdaanan nitong nagdaang 2.5 taon at patuloy niyo pa ring pinagdadaanan ay isang pagpapanday na sana ay nagturo sa inyo ng flexibility. Okay? Take it from a graduate of the Education High School. Even though we did not have a pandemic during our time, even though we did not have earthquakes that were damaging during our time, the kind of environment we were in exposed us to people who had different perspectives about life, who had different ways of navigating through the challenges of life. And while we ourselves were going through the challenges of puberty, adolescence, teenage life, and everything that we had to figure out in those 4 years, we also had to contend with different kinds of teachers and different ways of being taught. Little did we know, nakatulong. Okay? Nakatulong para kami ay, makasurvive in college later on, and eventually in the professional world that many of us belong to. So I am Philip Hernandez. I am from class 2007. And since last year, I have been back in the Education High School as supervising teacher for English. Well, we were born 5 years after the Second World War. Officially, the Education High School, bearing the name Education High School, began or was opened on August 1st of 1950. So we are actually turning 72 on Monday. Okay, we were born 5 years after the Second World War devastated the country, and in particular the city of Manila. Our university, at least the original campus in Intramuros, we very well know, was razed to the ground during the Second World War. Providentially, in 1927, we began operations in the present-day Sampaloc campus, which was then known as Sulukan. May main building na nun, and eventually, as time passed by, unti-unti nalipat natin ang ating operations from Intramuros all the way to Sampaloc. The Second World War hastened the transfer of our operations. It left the university no choice. Kaya nga, by 1950, okay, full operations na tayo sa university campus in the present day site, which is in, of course, Sampaloc. At the time, 1950, meron na tayong College of Education. 24 years old na ang College of Education by that time, 1950. We opened the College of Education in 1926. And of course, 2 years later in 1928, during which time, third year na ang ating mga student teachers, ang ating would-be graduates of the College of Education. By that time in 1928, atin namang binuksan ang isang laboratory high school. Okay? Yung laboratory high school na yon was to serve as a training ground for the College of Education students. Ang nagmana nung history na yon from 1928 ay ang UST Junior High School. Okay? At tayo naman, in 1950, minana natin yung kanilang teacher training function, pero dinagdagan ng isang dimension, and that is the intention to help. After the Second World War, the Philippines was still, ravaged, and a lot of people were suffering from the after effects of, devastation. The Education High School in 1950 opened its doors as a high school for the poor yet academically proficient students of the nearby areas. Dati, karamihan, if not all of our students, were coming from the nearby areas of Metro Manila. Okay? In fact, marami sa ating mga estudyante, even until now, ay nanggagaling sa public schools or public elementary schools. The University of Santo Tomas gave these students a chance to acquire Catholic education in a private institution, one of the best in the country, at a cheaper price, if not totally free. Okay? This kind of vision was realized under the rectorship of Father Angel de Blas, OP. He's a psychologist. Okay? It was under his term, during the middle of his term actually, that the UST Education High School opened its doors. So, we had the Education High School, which is distinct from the junior high school, and we opened it to students who were financially challenged. 37 lamang ang unang-unang graduates ng UST Education High School. 37. Okay, 37 students ang unang graduate noong 1952. Kasi nung tayo ay nagbukas, in-accommodate na natin ang mga students from the first year until the third year. Kaya by 1952, meron na kagad tayong graduates. Our first principal is Caridad Sevilla. Okay? Makikita nyo ang pangalan na yan pagbalik natin sa campus. And I'm so happy to say na those words na pagbalik nyo sa campus. Okay? Babalik na tayo. God willing, that this pandemic and all future challenges will be held at bay, will be overcome. Babalik na tayo sa campus. Ang isang makikita ninyong silid sa Education High School sa 4th floor ng ating building ay pinangalan after Caridad Sevilla. Doña Caridad Zialcita Viuda de Sevilla. Okay? Ang kanyang maiden name ay Zialcita. Ang kanyang married name ay Sevilla. Siya ang viuda ni Senyor Sevilla. Si Doña Caridad Sevilla, well, I guess it was fitting, no, that she eventually became the first principal. In the university yearbook, the Thomasian yearbook, we were often called in the early days as the Charity High School. Pag tinignan mo yung mga 1950s na yearbooks, tawag sa atin Charity High School. Tawag pa nga sa atin ay Free High School because of our drastically reduced, if not totally, non-existent fees. And it was Doña Caridad Sevilla who was entrusted with the task of being the first principal. She did this for 18 years, from 1950 to 1968. And during her time, and this has been a tradition that has been continued no, up to the, I guess, the present, no, with the present day administration facing modern day challenges and realities, the education high school administrators have always tried to find ways of making it affordable, of making education affordable to the students and, of course, their families. And I'll be discussing that in detail later. Significantly reduced fees. 35 pesos po ang tuition fee in the 1960s. This was 1968, June 4 of 1968. Okay? 35 pesos ang tuition fee, isang buong taon na yon. So this is a receipt from 1968. Significantly reduced fees, and even until now, there is that kind of disparity. Okay, in the education high school, the modern day, present day tuition fee ranges from around 23,000 a year to 28, while the matriculation in the UST Junior High School ranges from around 90,000 and above. Okay, and this is largely because of the fact that we are not actually hiring, except for a few, regular teachers. Okay, being a laboratory school, the tuition fee for our students is heavily subsidized by our mother college, the College of Education. Okay, because the College of Education has us as the practicum site, and the education high school for the next 10 months will be your home. Okay, will be your home and your main practicum site before you go out, in the second term for your off-campus. Life back then in the education high school, well, there was a morning shift for the girls. There was an afternoon shift for the boys. The alumni whom we get the chance to speak with would tell us, 5 pesos, malaki na yon. Okay? Hindi lang bibingka at Coke in a glass bottle ang iyong mabibili. Marami pang iba. A lot of our students who came from hard-up families or financially challenged families, common sa kanila yung one set of uniform. Okay? For all the 5 days. So wash and wear. And our students did not purchase books. Rather, they rented the books for the whole school year. Okay? At kailangan itong ibalik, syempre, at the end of each school year. Many of our students, as I said, came from poor families. Our students, however, including their student teachers, also had the chance, or part of the responsibility given to them was to also be catechists. Meron tayo mga student teachers in the past who, joined by their pre-service teachers, would catechize the learners, for example, in nearby public elementary schools. Padre Gomez, which is just nearby, near Dapitan, okay? Nandyan din ang nagka-catechize sila sa Don Alejandro Albert or Dr. Alejandro Albert na nasa Dapitan din, malapit naman sa Blumentritt, and the nearby areas. Marami sa ating mga estudyante, as I said earlier, galing sa nearby areas of Metro Manila. Okay? In the past, talagang Manila, Quezon City areas lang. Yun ang pinakamalayo. Ngayon, marami tayong mga estudyante coming from the National Capital Region. Because of the pandemic, there were some of our students who did access learning from even outside NCR, but they're quite few. Life back then in the education high school was characterized by common poverty or financial difficulties for many, but a passion to also have a better life. Iba yung, I guess, challenge, o iba yung motivation rather, na naibigay nung hamon sa buhay sa maraming graduates at maraming estudyante ng education high school. The education high school was composed of a lot of dreamers, a lot of go-getters, a lot of people who proved that early disadvantages in life are not a barrier to eventually succeeding. At malaki ang role na ginampanan, hindi lamang ng ating mga administrators, faculty members, and staff, but also the student teachers whom you will be, officially by next week. Malaki ang ginampanan ng mga student teachers in making sure that education high school students were able to acquire that quality education that has been promised to them. Okay? Other fees back then, test paper, 4 pesos, 1 year. Laboratory manual ng science, 1 year. At may bayad ang Rosarian, 1 peso and 50 cents. Okay? So, 9 pesos and 50 cents. Yan naman ang mga other fees o parang miscellaneous fees. Tingnan niyo itong resibo na ito, University of Santo Tomas, College of Education, High School. Okay? Kasi talagang ang tayo ay under, okay, ng College of Education. This was the first building. Wala na ito ngayon. There are varying historical accounts about it. Some would call it a morgue. In one issue of the Thomasian, tinawag itong morgue. In another issue of the Thomasian, or in several issues of the Thomasian yearbook, servants' quarters ito ng mga tao, ng mga empleyado from the Faculty of Medicine and Surgery. Nevertheless, it was a wooden building, a 2-story building that was near, okay, the northwestern tip of the campus. So that is at the corner of Pinoval and Dapitan. Okay? Yan siya dati. Eventually, lumipat tayo sa ating current home. This is the third building in the current home now. This is the College of Education as we know. The Education High School as we know. This is Albertus Manius. So this is a photo taken in the 1980s. Kita ninyo, ito ang view from the UST Hospital. Wala na itong, hindi mo na makikita itong view na ito ngayon, or hindi mo na at least makikita ang College of Education if you're standing from this vantage point, kasi nandiyan na yung nakatayong Benavides Cancer Institute. But if you take a look at the Albertus Manius building, it's practically still recognizable, although with better painting. Okay? With better, exterior kasi napinturahan. Nariyan pa rin ang ating 5 floors at ang Education High School ay nasa 4th floor. There will be other rooms utilized and without any intention to preempt what Dr. Quintana will present. Okay, she'll be the one to walk us through the life in EHS for the coming school year. Pero yan ang ating tahanan. I think nakilala nyo pa o nakapunta pa kayo, nakapasok pa kayo, nakapag-aral pa kayo sa building na yan. And it's more than excited to welcome you back home, okay, in the coming weeks. The Education High School, being a laboratory school, is a home of innovation and teaching. We inherited, as I said, the laboratory high school function previously assigned to the present-day junior high school. Uninterrupted, okay, except for the school years 2019 to 2021. Uninterrupted, except for those 2 years, ang history ng EHS as a laboratory high school. The only time, no, na nawalan tayo ng pre-service teachers is during the years of 2019 to 2021 when the College of Education did not have 4th year BS Ed because we were waiting for we were undergoing the transition, okay, of the K to 12. You, my dear pre-service teachers, are the second cohorts of our country's K to 12 program. Kayo ang second batch of K to 12 graduates na ngayon ay papasok na very soon sa professional workforce after you finish 4th year. Okay? So dahil tayo ay training ground for secondary education students of the College of Education, dahil trabaho namin in the College of Education na pandayin kayo to become the best beginning teachers that you can be. Sa career stages for professional teachers natin, kayo ay i-consider na beginning teachers. 2 ang minimum requirement nyo to be considered a beginning teacher. A degree related to education, and of course, your professional teacher's license. June of 2023, mark your calendars. Claim it. Ang tawag nga ng iba ay manifest it. Okay? But in a Catholic sense, pray for it. Okay? Gagraduate kayo mula sa College of Education. On time, with flying colors, and ready to face, the education world, the education landscape that you will eventually set foot in. mga kaibigan, because your, stay in the College of Education is intended to be as educational as possible, as, as good an experience as possible. We, your academic staff, your supervising teachers, okay, your teachers, the administrators, we try our best, no, to give you varied experiences, the latest in the world of education. Okay, kaya nga nagre-research din kayo. And that is why, as a training ground for the College of Education, hindi katakataka na ang Education High School nahahawa rin, in a sense, doon sa pagiging innovative or sa attempts at being updated ng College of Education. Kasi yung mga bagong estratehiya, mga makabagong pamamaraan ng pagtuturo, sinusubukan natin yan, tinetest natin yan on our students. Okay? There was a time in the history of the Education High School. This was, I think, 1972 to 2002. Yeah, a full 30 years. 1972 to 2002. The Education High School and the College of Education, as part of the programs of our longest serving dean ever, Dean Emerita Lourdes J. Custodio, PhD. The Education High School implemented what we call the Individualized Instruction Program. Informally, ang tinatawag doon ay the pilot program and the regular program. Okay? Pilot and regular referred to the two sections. Yun ang mga pangalan ng sections before. The regular class, sila yung traditional instruction na teacher-led. Yung pilot class, sila naman yung individualized ang instruction. Modular ang approach. Okay? Guided pa rin syempre ng teacher, but the students are actually doing, okay, on their own the tasks set out set out by the teacher based on the curriculum. This was performance task before performance task was cool. This was modular approach before modular approach was cool. Okay? This was a kind of learning where teachers became facilitators of learning before the term facilitators of learning became cool or became a trend. Ngayon, sa Education High School, even though we no longer implement the individualized instruction program and each section goes through the same kind or the same mode of delivery, meron pa rin kayo as pre-service teachers na pagkakataon na ma-experience yung pareho. Yes, you will be leading and you will be facilitating everything in your class. There will be moments na magle-lecture kayo. There will be lessons, I believe, na may mga days na parang mas marami yung teacher talk in comparison to student talk, especially when you are trying to establish a common understanding of key concepts. Okay? Pero gagawa rin kayo ng modules. Gagawa kayo ng performance tasks. Magkakaroon ng pagkakataon na ibibigay ninyo sa mga bata yung oras para sila ay makagawa ng kanilang mga tasks and activities. And you are there no longer as the sage on the stage, but you will be there as the guide from the side. So as you continue, or as you experience the 10 months of training in the Education High School, I hope that as with the batches or the cohorts before you, you'll also be having that sense of openness, okay? That sense of openness to what the experience will be about. What kind of strategies you can try, what kind of devices, gadgets, and all you can try. I was telling my my pre-service teachers, from the English majors during our meeting, I think last week, yeah. We had a virtual meeting last week, and I said, I'm kind of excited to welcome you back, not just to the virtual campus, but to the physical campus. May sabi nga sa kanila, kung ang nagdaang 2.5 taon, pinanday kayo ng Zoom at pinanday kayo ng Cloud Campus at ng Google Meet, pagbalik natin sa campus during the time when you will have to teach in the limited face-to-face environment, okay, ipaparanas ko naman o dapat nilang maranasan yung more traditional ways of doing things. So I was telling them, be ready Gagawa na kayo ng mga dekartolina na visual aids. Gagawa na kayo ng Di Manila paper na visual aids. Gagawa na kayo ng mga flipboards and the more traditional, the non-digital, okay, ways of, or the non-digital means of actually, using these materials to aid what you are teaching, aid you rather, in trying to teach the students. Okay, so the aim of your 10-month stay in us is for you to be exposed to different ways of teaching, to different ways of learning, even to different conditions of teaching and learning, so that when you leave the portals of the college, and believe me, 10 months will just pass by very fast. I think it was 2 months ago, during the graduation, June 9, 2022, graduate ang first batch of K-12 graduates na nagtapos ng 4 years sa College of Education. Kami mga supervising teachers no nag-usap-usap, and we were like, bilis. Ang bilis ng 10 months. Okay? I'd like to believe pareho lang din kami ng sentimiento ngayon. Ang bilis ng 2 months since the 10 months. Okay? Ayan na ulit. By Monday, we will already be opening the school year in the education high school. Believe me when I say that while there will be times when you will struggle with deadlines, there will be times when things will not be as easy. Okay? Lilipas ang panahon. So trust the process. Okay? Lilipas ang panahon at mabilis lilipas ang panahon. But despite the speed by which the days will pass, I hope that you will indeed have a sense of, a sense of joy eventually, a sense of pride, and a sense of confidence na because of the experiences we hope to provide you in the next 10 months, ready ka. Okay? Hindi namin ipapangako na maituturo namin lahat. Okay? Pero ipapangako namin sa inyo na kaya naming ibigay sa inyo yung exposure at yung kasanayan na bibigyan kayo ng pundasyon para kahit ano man ang harapin ninyo, eventually kakayanin nyo. My previous batch of pre-service teachers in the English majors, most of them are working now. Most of them have just finished or are finishing their own in-service training programs or their own week-long series of training. Sasabak na rin sila very soon. Okay? Hindi lahat ng mga natutunan nila ron sa in-service training ay bago. Hindi rin naman lahat totally luma or familiar na. Our hope is that when you enter the world of work, mabawasan yung culture shock, na hindi lahat ng bagay gulatan. Okay? And that was what I just felt happy about nung kinamusta ko sila just last week. Kamusta? Marami bang bago? Sabi nila, yes sir, marami kaming natututunan. Lahat ba bago? Ay hindi sir. Maraming bagay, sanay na kami. In fact, one of them said, during the sharing, kasi syempre the speaker was asking, who are the newbies? During the sharing, marami siyang nakwento na related. Okay? At dahil yan, sa experiences, na nabigay sa kanila, hindi lamang for 1 semester, hindi lamang para sa isang grand demo teaching na isang beses lang sa isang buhay mo nangyari, pero dahil sa araw-araw, linggo-linggo na magtuturo kayo ng mga estudyante. What are the buzzwords ng practicum? Okay? Sa AHS, common na tinatawag namin talaga sa kanila, student teachers. Pardon me for vacillating, for always interchanging the two. Kasi student teachers talaga. Ang tawag dyan historically. Okay? Demo teaching was common. I could remember the days when the supervising teacher and sometimes other faculty members would enter the room, they would sit at the back, and then magde-demo teaching. After every quarter, i-roll out naming mga supervising teachers yung mga evaluation questionnaires or evaluation tools para sa inyo. Okay? And the students will have to fill it out. The students will have to rate you, and those will actually form part of your grade. There was a time when the Education High School implemented the regular curriculum and the home economics curriculum. Okay? As I said, there was a difference between the pilot and the regular classes, and this was due to the individualized instruction program. The university and the education high school adjusted when RBEC was implemented in 2004, and 2 years before that, when BEC was implemented under the term of, I think, former Secretary Rocco. Okay, this was at our chance to, this is our first introduction to the Makabayan subjects. In 2010, we adjusted to the Understanding by Design framework with the National Secondary Education Curriculum, or NSEC. And eventually, in 2012, we began adjusting to the K-12 curriculum. Halo-halo yan. Ang dami yung mga words, historic, from the history of education. Pero bukas, okay, most likely matututunan nyo na ay yung praxis-oriented approach or PROAP. Yan ay isang bagay na sana wag niyong kakalimutan at talagang makinig kayo ng maigi bukas, because this is going to be the framework that you'll use to package and to craft the experiences that you will provide for your students. In the last school year, okay, the Education High School conducted a full school year of distance education through the enriched virtual mode of instruction. But unlike 2020 and 2021, when all of their teachers were regular teachers, last school year, bumalik na ang mga pre-service teachers from 5 majors: English, Math, Science, SOCSI, and Christian Living, or Religious and Values Education. So our student teachers, they were around, I think, more than 70, I think. Yeah, more than 70. They joined the around 5 to 6 regular teachers of the Education High School. Okay? May ilang mga English, may mga pre-service teachers tulad ng English, they were around 19. Sa Science, 2 sila last year. Sa Math, 7. Sa SOCSI at sa Religious Education, 10 each. Okay? So you can imagine, diverse ang experiences na nakuha nila. Pinaka-intense, I'd like to believe, ang experiences ng science majors. Kasi kung hindi ako nagkakamali, Dr. Dases may correct me, I think hindi lang isa, pero 2 sections ang hinawakan ng bawat isang pre-service teacher. Okay? Sa Math, okay, merong 6, I think, na tigi-isa ang hinawakan nila, pero merong isa na humahawak ng 2 sections. In English, we had the chance to rotate them, okay, and to group them. There would be sometimes a pair, or there would be student teachers who would be working in triads. And I think the same can be said for CLE, or Religious and Values Education, and SOCSI, but I think maximum would be a pair. There were 8 sections. Okay, hinati namin, inassign namin sa different sections ng EHS yung ating mga learners. Okay? So, in my case, and this, I already oriented the English majors about it, dadaanan nila lahat ng 4 na grade levels. So, from grade 7 to 8 to 9 to 10. Each quarter is around 2.5 months. Okay? And you get to meet, no? You get to meet different learners coming from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different levels of interest, okay, different degrees of passion, okay, for the subject that you teach. Makakakilala kayo, my dear pre-service teachers, ng mga bata na very passionate, very interested sa inyong subject area, pero makakakilala rin kayo ng mga estudyanteng siguro masasabi nating disinterested, or at the very least, lukewarm ang kanilang pagtanggap sa itinuturo ninyo. Bahagi yan ng hamon na inyong haharapin. Isa sa mga hamon ng guro na magpapanday ng tunay sa kanya at sa kanyang kagalingan bilang isang guro ay hindi yung mga estudyanteng tuwang-tuwa sa subject mo. Pero I think mapapanday ka ng maayos. Mahuhubog ka lalo kapag ang mga estudyante mo parang hindi nila love yung subject mo. A challenge for teachers, whether student or pre-service teachers or professional teachers at that, is to reach out to learners whose interest and motivation may not be, okay, directed towards your subject matter, but who will nevertheless benefit from learning the skills and the knowledge that you would share. Isa sa mga challenge ninyo, okay, is to make it known, to make it a learning experience, not just for those who love your subject, but most especially for those who may not yet see the importance of what you're teaching. Yung mga challenges na mahaharapin ninyo sa Education High School, siya ring magbibigay sa inyo ng inspirasyon na mag-conduct ng action research ninyo, as Dr. Dasas was saying yesterday. Sa taong ito, sa nagdaan ding taon, okay, we had to develop, and I think we did develop quite well, a healthy attitude towards problems. Na ang problema ay hindi lagi lang iniiwasan. Na ang problema ay hindi lagi lamang iniiyakan. Ngunit ang problema, hinahanap, hinaharap. Okay? And why do we look for problems and face the problems? Because we believe that if we work together and if we confront the problem head on and find solutions for it, then these solutions would actually be for the benefit of our students, our student teachers, and of course, the school community as a whole. At yung mga natutunan natin, yung mga natutunan natin na aral mula sa paglutas sa mga problema o suliranin na ating hinarap, ay siya rin namang magsisilbing aral na pwede nating ibahagi, magsisilbing biyaya na pwede nating ibahagi sa ibang mga pamayanan, sa ibang mga communities, tulad ng kinuwento ni Sir JC kahapon, ni Doc JC, when he was talking about the service learning projects. Nag-resume na ang dalawang yan. 2 cornerstones, I think, of the teaching internship experience. Okay? Dahil ang Education High School, nananatili pa rin isang paaralan na nagbibigay ng pagkakataon sa mga batang galing sa mahihirap na pamilya na makapagtapos ng pag-aaral nila ng junior high school sa isang pamoso at sa isang tanyag na pamantasan. Okay? Lalo pa nitong pandemya, okay, nakita natin na maraming pamilya pa rin na nag-struggle. Maraming pamilya ang humarap ng napakabibigat na hamon financially. In fact, last year, meron pa kaming mga estudyanteng nagka-COVID, namatay ang magulang, okay? Nagkaroon ng challenges kasi nawalan ng trabaho, nag-persist yung kanilang mga struggles financially. And so last year, okay, with the help of the University of Santo Tomas Education High School Graduates Alumni Association, of which I am the outgoing Vice President for International Alumni, we also launched the Solidarity Fund. The Solidarity Fund is basically an assistance fund. Okay, it provides our learners, those who are in need and those who have been vetted or those who have been evaluated by the scholarship committee, to really be in need and are deserving, with some form of financial assistance. Dati, marami kaming natulungan in terms of tuition fees. Okay? Yung iba kasi, hindi makapag-enroll kasi marami pang utang from the previous year. So from 2020 to 2021, may utang pa, hindi sila maka-enroll ng 2021 to 2022. Through the generosity of the alumni, who themselves were recipients of grace and recipients of assistance during the time when they were students, nag-provide sila, no? Nag-provide sila ng financial assistance para naman sa mga learners na ito. Okay? Through the Solidarity Fund. The Education High School, one of the things that you will learn is that while we cannot necessarily always pay it back, at the very least, we try to pay it forward. Hindi man namin maibalik o masuklian ang tulong at kabaitang ibinigay sa amin ng mga nagpaaral sa amin, we hope to at least pay it forward by providing the same level of assistance or at least a similar kind of help to the new people, to the new group of students who may need it in the same way that during our time we needed it. That is the kind of spirit that I hope that you will also get to feel in the Education High School. That more than just a community of learners, more than just a community of teachers, we are also a community of people who understand that beyond our IDs, registration forms, our grades, and our grade centers, okay, we're also people who belong to families who have dreams, no? Dreams of leaving behind a legacy of quality education to their children. Yan ang isang tulong na binibigay natin. And the fact that you, the pre-service teachers, are here, the fact that you are blessing, no, the Education High School with your presence because you are gonna be partaking in this training, allows these parents the chance to provide quality Catholic education to their children at a more affordable price, at a more accessible rate, okay, while at the same time still ensuring that that child goes through the same quality formation that the child would most likely go through in other universities or schools. Okay? This year, babalik na po ang ating mga BS Ed Filipino majors. Isang pagbati para sa ating mga guro sa asignaturang Filipino. Okay? Nariyan na rin kayo bilang second cohort ng pre-service teachers na graduates ng K-12. At matapos ang 2.5 taon na tayo ay nawalay mula sa ating campus, sa ating pangalawang tahanan sa Espanya, I'd like to believe babalik na tayo sa campus. Only health issues, I guess, will be, putting a stop to this impending return. But I'd like to believe that, despite the challenges, we have overcome them. And now that we are about to return to campus, we can safely say that while we will adjust, while we will have to learn the safety protocols and all those kinds of things, we will be able to face them, learn them, imbibe them with a sense of excitement and openness. Hindi ito tulad ng disruption ng March 2020 na maraming tao ang nangapa at maraming tao ang kinailangan ng oras para mag-adjust. Pagbalik natin sa campus, hindi na tayo ang mga estudyante at mga guro na nangangapa o nawawala sa kung paano nating ina-navigate ang isang pakikibaka, no? Sa isang kalabang hindi natin nakikita. When we return to campus, we will bring with us 2 years of distance education and 2 years of experiences in navigating, in surviving a pandemic. Okay? At hindi natin pakakawalan ang mga aral na natutunan natin during that 2.5 years. Okay? Madalas ko itong naririnig, no? Kay Principal Quintana, who will be the next speaker, no? The Education High School has within its walls the supervising and regular teachers. And in the last 4 decades, several of university officials have traced their formation, no? Have traced their formation to being supervising and regular teachers of EHS. 4 lang ang aking binanggit sa ngayon, pero napakarami niyan. Okay? Dr. Clarita Carillo, former Vice Rector for Academic Affairs, Dean Pilar Romero, our current Dean, the first ever graduate of the EHS to become Dean of the College of Education. She is the first ever principal of the USD Senior High School, and she was former Assistant to the Rector for Administration. Dr. Evelyn Songco, the former Assistant to the Rector and former Director of the Office for Student Affairs, and the late Dr. Giovanna Fontanilla, who also served for the longest time, I think, as the Director of Public Affairs. Yan ang ilan sa ating mga supervising teachers, no? Na naghubog din ng iba't ibang klase ng iba't ibang henerasyon, no? Ng mga guro na nag-take ng BS Ed. And eventually, they were entrusted, with a greater responsibility, to lead several of the key components, of university administration. My dear students, okay, I hope that in your experience in the Education High School, you would envision yourself not just, okay, as teachers in the classroom, but also as leaders in the profession. By leaders, I don't just mean administrators. Okay? By leaders, I mean as researchers, as workers of the community, as people who can influence a greater number of people beyond those whom you meet in the four walls of your classroom or in the four corners of your faculty room. Darating ang panahon na bilang mga graduates ng pamantasan ng Santo Tomas, hindi lamang kayo maanyayahan, okay, na magturo sa inyong paaralan, na magbahagi sa inyong paaralan. But I think kayo rin ay mabibigyan ng plataforma kung saan kayo ay pwede namang magbahagi, no, sa ibang mga guro, okay? To be leaders and to be influencers, okay? If I may use the social media term loosely, to be influencers, okay, of people who are also in the same mission, in the same formation, in the same field that we are in. I hope that in the 10 months that you will stay with us, and when you complete the 4-year stay in the College of Education, yun yung isang mabaon ninyo na meron kayong ibabahaging maganda kasi ang experience ninyo naging maganda. Kaya ang isang ipa-plug ko na rin ngayon, okay, with the indulgence of our officials and my fellow supervising teachers, i-document nyo ang inyong mga experiences. Balikan ninyo hindi lamang experiences na pinagdaanan niyo over the last week, but even the last 3 years. I-document nyo lahat ng pagdadaanan nyo in the next 10 months. Dahil yung mga karanasan niya yan, yung mga experiences na yan, okay, will eventually become the foundation or the concrete, okay, stories that will later on, I think be the content of what you will share as well to people. Okay? How will you share them? Ipa-plug ko na. Gagawa kayo ng teaching internship dossier. Gagawa kayo ng portfolio ninyo. Despite the fast pace that most likely practicum will take, huwag nyo sanang kalimutan to pause, to reflect, to document. Sometimes even with just a few words, even with just keywords and anecdotes. Hindi kailangan nobela sa araw-araw. But don't forget, the experiences that you will go through. In the same way that these 4 administrators every now and then would look back at their experiences in the College of Education, which they called home, at their experiences in the Education High School. Okay? And they would attribute part of the discipline that they develop, part of the excellence that they now exude, okay, to that kind of formation that they had. Mahalaga na gamitin natin yun bilang ehemplo para maunawaan nating mahalaga rin na naaalala natin, dinodocument natin yung mga lessons na natututunan natin. Okay? Mabilis sa isa na dadaan ng 10 buwan. At sa bilis nun, madaling makalimot. Sana yun ang hindi mangyari sa inyo. Huwag makakalimot sa mga magagandang karanasan, even to the sometimes challenging, painful, maybe even bitter experiences. Because for all you know, these are the things that will make you better teachers later on. A good teacher is not just a good lecturer, a good facilitator. A good teacher is also a reflective teacher. Okay? Every year, the EHS will graduate an average of 90 to 100 students, and in the past, around 200 to 300 students will leave the walls of EHS. A majority of these learners come from financially challenged families, but a majority of them have also since gone on to establish a name for themselves in their chosen careers. Yan po ang klase ng mga estudyanteng inyong tuturuan. Hindi natin makikita ngayon. Hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon, EHS students who later on became successful already showed, indications from their time in high school na sila'y magiging very successful, na sila'y magiging tanyag. May mga estudyanteng i-challenge kayo because parang ginost nila kayo. Ikaw na yung nag-i-email, at nagfa-follow up sa kanilang requirements pero parang ginost ka nila. May mga estudyanteng iti-challenge ka because despite interventions, parang hindi pa siya handa na matutunan yung itinuturo mo. Who knows, maybe magkakaroon din kayo ng mga estudyanteng iti-challenge kayo kasi maaaring hindi mag-click yung iyong way of teaching sa kanilang way of learning. But I hope that while they may be, or there may be challenges, there may be challenging students, don't lose sight of the goal. Okay? Don't lose sight of the aim, which is to do our very best to reach out to as many. Okay? Not all the EHS students whom you will meet will automatically show to be, shining stars. Okay? But who knows? They may be diamonds in the rough. Who knows na dahil merong mga guro na nagpapasensya sa kanila, na dahil merong mga guro na hindi sila sinusukuan, and they will develop that kind of confidence and a better sense of self-esteem that they may not yet have. Crucial ang formative years ng junior high school. Okay? At crucial ang role na gagampanan ninyo. Hindi lamang bilang isang guro na nagtuturo ng mga konsepto na related sa inyong asignatura. Pero isang formator na tutulungan sila. If nurses and doctors are the frontliners in this war against the pandemic, I'd like to believe that you are our frontliners in our struggle against ignorance. You are gonna be, and you are our frontliners in our quest for knowledge and hopefully wisdom. Kahit kaming mga supervising teachers ninyo ay narito para gabayan kayo. Kayo ang araw-araw, oras-oras nahaharap sa mga mag-aaral. Challenging though some of them may be, I hope that you will develop that sense of commitment and remain true to that commitment. That as best as we can, we will educate them. Trust the process, okay? And for all you know, when you look back in hindsight, you will be so happy to be able to look back and say, ay, naging estudyante ko yan. Ay, kahit 2 weeks, kahit 1 quarter, naging estudyante ko yan. At nakita ko from the time na siya ay estudyante sa EHS, kung paano siyang nag-develop at nag-flourish. Masarap sa pakiramdam ng isang guro na kahit sa sandaling panahon, naging bahagi tayo ng kwento ng isang bata who not only achieved success but fulfillment. You will be part of that story. By next week, you will meet them. And I hope that you will have that sense of excitement, that sense of duty, and that sense of gratitude for the chance to actually form lives. Thank you very much. And we look forward to making you a part of the next chapter of the Education High School's history. God bless you, everybody.